What about the quarterbacks? Kenny's getting the second team now.
Yeah.
Do you have any takes or thoughts on how you think it's going to play out?
No, I hope it plays out well for him though. You know, because I think that makes it more interesting for all of us going into that final preseason game. I kind of like this thing still being a little, just leave it a little open, just a little bit. I want it to matter a little bit more in that third one. I don't want that third one to be like, oh, it's officially locked up. Even though it probably would be best for the team, I'm just being selfish here. I'm like, yo, can we just keep just one more week, pretty please? But I honestly don't know, man. I don't know because I can see this going a couple of ways. I can see, our quarterbacks versus their DBs and us being able to have some success, making it look interesting. I could also see a scenario where we are under duress and we can't protect these quarterbacks. That's the other thing I'm thinking about, especially for Mitch. Whoever's out there with that first unit, I'm like, that Jaguars front, man, even last year, they were able to get after the quarterback. That was something that they could do consistently. Then you bring on Travon Walker, and I'm just like, we're going to really find out about our O-line. That's for me, I'm excited, but low-key kind of like, ooh, I hope this is I hope the money shows up.
This is maybe why we keep the three quarterbacks.
Yeah, because if I'm looking and it gets like what it could be like, then I don't think any of these quarterbacks are going to look as good as they could look.
We don't want anyone to get injured either.
Yeah, that too. Definitely want to get injured, but just in the sense of like, think about how it looked at times with Kenny out there last week where he's running for his life. Think about at that last drive for Mason where he started was like, yo, this is getting out of hand here. I could see a scenario, man, where the Jags front is able to have some of that type of success against our offensive line, especially when we start subbing dudes out as well. Because when they bring in some of their dudes in, it's like, oh, no, these are still quality players. For us, we're like, all right, now we getting back to what we had last year. It's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what we want at all.
Yeah.
So, it actually, even though you don't want to just throw someone out there, but Pickett's mobility could be an X factor in terms of helping win the quarterback competition because we might need it.
Yeah, it could help him or it could hurt him.
I mean, Trubisky does have decent mobility, though, too, yeah. I think he even flashed it in the first preseason game.
No, he definitely did. And let me clarify, when I say it can help him or it can hurt him,
yeah,
the thing that I mean is
that.
this. With mobile quarterbacks, it's the gift and the curse. Some take it and they don't understand how to move smartly with it and they get themselves into trouble. We talked about Malik Willis. Instead of just reading and getting rid of the ball, he tries to do it with his legs. Talked about the two hits that Kenny took last week, and it's like, yo, you got to know when to try to win with your legs and when to get rid of the ball. What's more important, you trying to outrun this guy but getting caught and slammed on your head by the goal line, or you throwing that ball where we live to play another down? Whereas with Mitch, you don't see Mitch take a lot of that because it's the difference of just understanding that, yes, I'm mobile, but I'm also smart. I know when to get rid of that ball. I know how to escape. I know when I need to try to beat this defender and when I just need to live to play another down or live to play another day. That's the stuff what I mean by with like some of these athletic quarterbacks. That was one of the things that we would even talk about with a guy like Michael Vick, for example. We would say, man, when you have these mobile quarterbacks, because they're able to extend plays, a lot of times, man, you're able to get them because they're doing too much. They're always thinking like, oh, I can get it. I got time. I can make this happen. And it'll get them into trouble at times, versus the guys that aren't quote unquote as mobile. They're not trying to do all that extra stuff. They're just be like, all right, look, man, get to the next play. And that's some of the stuff where for Kenny is like just understanding that and learning that part because that will catch up to him otherwise. Yeah.
What's the scenario or scenarios that leave this thing open? Is it Mitch struggling? No, or is it even Mitch playing good, but Kenny lighting it up?
Kenny would have to light it. If Kenny,
no matter what Mitch does.
Yeah, if Kenny plays well, regardless of what Mitch does, I think it's still a conversation because of the momentum, because of the 20th overall selection. If Kenny looks okay or average, I think that it kind of ends the debate, and it'll be Mitch. He'll be the guy going in. He'll
be sitting next week.
Yeah, he'll be sitting or playing the series next week. Like I think it'll be like that. But it's Kenny's in control. I think that Mason had that opportunity last week, and even though he played well, I still don't think it was enough of that wow to really keep him legitimately in that QB1 conversation. I think for him, he would have to go out there and really like 2-3 touchdown passes type thing, like just look freaky, like look like the season finale against the Browns from 3 years ago. It would have to look like that. If it looks like that, Mason's right back in that conversation. because he's with the threes. But if it doesn't, if it looks just okay, if it looks decent, it's like, bro, we're not gonna go back to that. But for Kenny, he can make that move, but he's gonna have to like light it up. I think if he looks really good, you know, and even if it's not even him throwing touchdown passes, but he executes drives where they move the ball and we end up scoring. And he just looks the part. He looks like he's in command of that offense. I think that keeps him in that discussion. But he can't like plateau. He can't plateau and he can't look bad. If it's either one of those, then yeah, I think that they go with Mitch as the safer option.
I'm wondering with Mason if he plays good, that's more for the trade, like the showcase.
Yes.
So that's why I'm thinking with Mason, maybe his fate is actually more determined on Mitch and Kenny. Because if he plays good and Mitch and Kenny play good, we're back to the whole storyline from last week, right?
No, see, I don't think we would be, though, because the storyline would be changed because now Kenny has looked good against the twos and backup starters. Whereas for...
No, that's what I'm talking about, though, in terms of, like, Mason's expendable.
Oh, okay, and that's, yeah.
But if Mason plays really good and Mitch and Kenny struggle, now Mason's back. So that's why I mean, like, I think Mason's just determined on what Mitch and Kenny do.
I see what you're saying there. I do. I just think that the way that they're looking at this thing is like Mitch is the guy right now, and Kenny's the only one that's gonna get an opportunity to really make that strong of a case right now to move up.
Even if Mitch and Kenny struggle and Mason plays really good,
because you know what this the at the end of the day we're gonna say, man, this Jaguars defense is a lot better than any of this other stuff. And once again, who was out there with who? Mitch was out there with the ones. Kenny was out there with the twos. And now you have Mason out there with the threes. Mason, you should look good out there with the threes. That's going to be their response. That's going to be how they talk about it. And then they're going to coach up and critique the Kenny and Mitch struggles. They'll say, hey, look, this is why you want to see these guys out here. But it's not just their play. Look at the O-line. Look at this guy. He has to win this one-on-one. Look at that over there. And that'll be that approach with it, man.
So you think there's no hope for him on the Steelers?
I don't think that there's no hope. I just think that it's very, very tough. Like, he would have to go out there and really, like, do something special. And I'm not saying that he's not capable of that, but it's just a probability thing for me. I just don't know how probable that is right now.
Anything else you wanted to hit on? Key players you're watching?
No, like I said, for me, man, I'm just excited to see.
I want to see Gunner again.
Ooh,
if Gunner can keep that up.
Okay.
Pickett's been talking about him being a really good safety valve. He knows where to be. Can he prove that he's more than just a return man?
Oh, no, I got a couple, actually. I do want to see I want to see Connor Hayward again. Can you replicate what you did last week? Because that was pretty dope. I want to see him replicate that. The next person I would want to see is Damonte Casey. Can he continue with the physicality? You know, the tackling, that part, not shying away from it, because that was interesting last week. I want to see that continue. And then the other dude, man, my man Trey Norwood. He's putting together, like I said, he put together really nice training camp while they were out there at Latrobe. Obviously, we liked how he played in the game. That it was very productive, flew around, looked confident. So I just want to see what that looks like. Can you continue to build on that? Have another one of them games where you're just flying around looking really good out there.